Welcome, everyone, to the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series event, and we are live at Talladega SuperSpeedway. I'm your host, Rick Souza, along with John DeRugeris, and we are here to broadcast this to you live on the IWM Broadcast Network.
Yeah, Rick, it's Dega time, and we know what that means: high speeds and carnage here at Talladega SuperSpeedway. We have a 200-mile event for you tonight. That is going to be 80 laps. And Rick, you can't come to Talladega and not get excited. I mean, these cars with the strong field that we have tonight, you're going to see some 3-wide action, some 4-wide action that we haven't seen yet here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. But looking on board now, we have Brandon Barrier out of Eden, North Carolina, 24-year-old trying to get a win here in the the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series, and he has apparently a good fan base watching. So we'll see if he is able to bring it home in victory lane at the end of 80 laps. But Rick, let's talk about Dega. It is the biggest track on the circuit from a super speedway standpoint. Take out Road America, that's 4.5 miles long. Forget that. On a super speedway size on the oval, it is the biggest track, and also it's going to produce the most chaotic racing out of any track on the circuit.
It is absolutely all of that and more. As we talked about earlier, this is our favorite track. There is so much here for everybody who enjoys watching racing, who loves the high banks, the chills and spills that could be there for racing today. It's just a fabulous venue, and so I'm looking forward to it, and certainly looking forward to what these guys can do.
Yeah, we're looking along right now at Evan Amick. He is going to try and run a strong lap time, because right now we have Pittman up there on the top of the board with a 53.5. But I don't even think it matters where you start here. It's all about where you finish, because on the last lap you could be 20th and somehow win the race. So everything, qualifying, it is good to stay out front. I prefer to stay out front to kind of miss all the carnage. But Rick, it doesn't matter where you start in this race. Everyone has a chance to win.
Absolutely. In fact, we're looking at times of 53, 51 from Pittman and others that are qualifying times. But really, and frankly, it does not matter. When you start pack racing and you've got a drafting partner or partners, those times will be in the low 50s, as in 50.x, and we'll see some just amazing speeds.
Yes, we will. And so we have about qualifying just ended, Rick. So that is going to be the end of qualifying. So let's bring up your starting order. First let's talk about what's going on in the race. Yeah, so 80 laps, 1 quick repair, 3 sets of tires. And Rick, I clocked the track temp at 119 degrees in practice. It's already down to 98. So track temp has cooled basically 20 degrees. And, tires aren't really a thing, but with a hot track, you're typically going to slide around quite a bit. But, with these cooler temperatures, you may be able to move a little bit more than your typical Talladega event, because it's a little bit of a cooler track. 2.65 miles here in Alabama, and those 33-degree bank corners are definitely going to produce some high speeds.
All right, so we've looked at the track conditions. Let's jump over to our qualifying, and let's see where our drivers and your favorite drivers are lining up for today.
So looking at the starting lineup, we have Blake Giglio at the top of the board, actually. He is going to be your pole sitter for the Talladega 200, followed by Ryan Pittman there in P2. Matt Swope out of iRacing Warriors Motorsports rounds out your top 3 with Christopher Howell. He'll definitely be on the proud line, that 88 Chevrolet, followed by Harley Barletta in the 81 machine.
In the 6th position, you've got Tanner Nolan in the 17. In 7, David King in the 18. Travis Murgaard is on the outside in the 6. In 8th position, you've got Evan Amick in the 77 in 9th, and John Ledger on the outside in the 19 in 10th.
Rounding out your top 11, you have Mark Feeney out of Apollo Racing Club there in P11. P12 is Noah Ritter. He is out of Pennsylvania. Look for him to have a good run tonight. Going to P13, it looks like we have Austin Armstrong, a new name to the league, but we'll see what he can do tonight. Outside of him is going to be Jeff Nene out of Chip Ganassi Racing, quote unquote. He is racing here tonight, which is going to be awesome in the 40 car. Luke Bullard rather, out of the Carolinas there in a number 3 machine. He rounds out your top 15.
Jacob Walker in the 24 is in our 16th slot. Inside, you've got Brandon Barrier in the 85. Outside of him in the 89. In 18th position is Paul Ballenstein. You've got Eric Ova in the 21 in 20th position. Dan Withers in the 67 in 22nd. And finishing up our grid is Brad Previtt in the 9.
Yeah, so we got a pretty big field tonight, a field of 23 drivers. That's going to be definitely eventful, with some definitely 2 wide, 3 wide. Heck, you may even see 4 wide coming to the line. But right now, Blake Giglio in the number 20 machine is your leader. He's going to be the control car. So we got to remember, let's talk about some restart rules, and I go to the 3 keys of the race. So on the first drop of the green flag, that is on the flagman. That's not on the leader, it's on the flagman. But any restart after that, once that leader enters the restart zone, they have control to start the race whenever they want. So typically what you see is a jump from the leader. Everybody else kind of follows in suit. So I expect to see that a little bit tonight. But Rick, let's talk about, here are my 3 keys. So number 1, you got to have patience. I mean, it's one of the biggest tracks. It's one of the longest tracks. And you don't want to get yourself in a position where you are having to use a quick repair too early in this race. So patience, sticking around to the end, is the first key. Second, pit road strategy. You make sure you pit with a group of cars. If you don't, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be a single car pack essentially out there, and you won't be able to do anything. So make sure you pit with your teammates, friends, or just whoever's the fastest in a group. And then third, this is what I see all the time at Talladega or Daytona. Don't push on corner exit. Those cars get very light coming out of the corner, and I've seen, everybody's seen when those cars get a little bit too offset on the bumper, they will spin coming out of turn 4 or turn 2. But it looks like the pace car is now off, Rick.
We are about to go green. We are.
$200 miles here tonight in the Talladega 200 with Blake Giglio, your leader. He is going to be leading them to the green flag, and we should be going racing right now. We are green flag racing in the Talladega 200, and that inside line is gone.
Hopefully we'll get some guys recognizing that you cannot win this in turn 1, and you cannot win this on the first lap.
No, you can, and we'll see what happens as this race plays out, but it looks like everybody's pretty spread out, pretty even, going through the back of the field. That bottom line is the preferred line. We already see a car jumping to the outside. I believe that is Matt Swope. No, that's not Matt Swope. I can't even tell who that is, Rick, but that's a Mountain Dew car, it looks like.
That was like Harley Barletta.
That is Harley Barletta to the outside. There comes Dave King on the bottom side. And that inside line is definitely the preferred line here early on. So leading lap 1, it looks like we are going to have Blake in the 16 leading lap 1 here tonight at Talladega. That doesn't mean really too much. I mean, you have some point standings implications there. But, it's all about leading the last lap. And even the last corner, the last couple hundred feet, that will get you the win here. So let's go through your running order right now. You have Blake Giglio in P1, you have Swope in P2, Dave King in P3, Evan Amick in P4, and now Harley Barletta and Mark Feeney and Pittman are all battling there for P5, and you're starting to see that outside line form up, Rick.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they're forming up for sure. So you will see some numbers that are not making sense. The car number may say 16, as in Blake Giglio's vehicle here, but the board says 20. That just happens because the paint scheme in iRacing is not matching what we're seeing in trading paints, but we'll do our best to point that out and keep you up to date on your favorite driver.
Yep, and looking right there, you see the outside line is taking into effect. Here comes a 16 to block Harley Barletta. Harley Barletta is going to go to the outside. Wow,
3 wide on the backstretch.
Really tight racing. We got the 58 of Brandon Barrier coming up to the middle to support that number 16, which is really number 20. Got to keep that in mind. So we are 3 by 3 by 3, Rick, going into turn 3 right now, maybe even 4 wide. That 58 car.
Oh,
wait, we're wrecking.
wrecking.
There we go. Big wreck in turn 3. And there's Valenstein involved, Nani involved. You see the 19 of John Ledger. That, I believe, all started with, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the 58 kind of getting a little bit out of shape in the middle of the corner going into turn 3. So let's see if we can get a replay on that, Rick.
All right, let's go back and see if we can. Oh, let's back that up. There's certainly a lot of carnage happening here.
Yeah, there's Jeff Nini in the 40 machine. Let's see if we can go a little bit further up. I believe this all started even a little bit further back when they were going 3 wide going into the corner. It looked like that 58 kind of just got arrow loose.
So it looks like that's the 24. Let's jump up to the 24 real quick.
Yeah, see if we can get maybe an in-car camera of what he saw, because he saw it firsthand. He was also involved in the incident. That is the 24 car
of Brandon Barrier and Paul Valenstein.
Yep, Brandon Barrier, Paul Valenstein there.
Let's back it up just a little bit.
24 of Jacob Walker.
So it looks like, I could be wrong, let's kind of follow along here. It looks like Brandon may have come down, crossing the line, and doored the 89.
Yeah, and that's going to shoot them up the track. The 6 had nowhere to go.
Taking the out of the 6.
And the 24 tried to avoid it. He got tagged by the 13, and that shot him back up into the 89. And then look at John Ledger there, and Jeff Nini just really had nowhere to go. They were just kind of stuck. But let's go back. I think there was a car that was able to get through that. I believe it may have been the 17 machine. That car on the bottom lane. Not really. I think it was Tanner Nolan. Let's see if we can ride on board with Tanner Nolan, because he was looking at this going into turn 3, and he saw everything, and he was able to miss it. So let's see what he saw out of the front windshield of that 17 machine. Nice. Just patient, staying on the bottom there, so nice job from the 17 machine. But yeah, that's what happens here at Talladega there, Rick. You know, you get a little arrow loose, you come down, and you collect some drivers in this. So that was our first in the night. There are no stages. We have to make that note. There are no stages here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. So this is going to be an 80-lap run. There are green-white checkers, but there are no stages. So position does matter, and also pit strategy matters. And we did have some takers down pit road that last time. We had the 20, which is the 16 of Blake Giglio go in. We had Brandon Barrier obviously go in. We had some takers.
Well, I also think a few of those folks were involved in that first incident, and you know, you've got. Although Blake came down, Brandon Barrier obviously did. He was involved. I believe the Paul Valenstein also came down, and then a few others. I think they did the. They're just topping off fuel as they make their way. So this is an odd track. So based on the fuel consumption and the way that this league limits the amount of fuel, it forces you as a driver to plan your fuel stops. And so with the amount of fuel that they've got running a caution-free stretch, 20 laps is our fuel run.
Yep, 20 laps. So I believe those drivers pit on lap 3 or lap 4. So I want to make that a note here. So they could probably go to lap 21, maybe 22 there before they have to come in for their next stop. So they could be good to go to the end until there may be a green-white checkered, which there possibly could be a green-white checkered. But basically two strategies playing out right now with the people who stayed out and the people who didn't. So we'll have to pay attention to that. But 5 laps into this event, we have your leader, Matt Swope. He is going to be taking P1. We have some more takers, and I believe, Rick, this is possibly just going to top off on some fuel.
Yeah, it's definitely a fuel strategy these guys should be in. We're focusing right now on Blake in that 16 red, white, and blue car. He is just basically probably coming in. That was a 4-second fuel stop. So that's just topping off another half a gallon or whatever he can get in that car, and he's headed back out.
Yes, it is. So we are about to go green flag racing here again. And just to kind of give you a rundown of that last incident, it did involve the number 58 of Brandon Barrier there. You had Paul Valenstein involved. You had the number 19 of John Ledger. You had the 24 of Jacob Walker, as well as the 40 machine of Jeff Nini. So you had a lot of drivers involved in that last wreck. But, they have a quick repair. So they have basically a get out of jail free card, essentially, because sometimes when you get some incidents here on pit road, or on the racetrack rather, you're kind of locked in on pit road depending on how much damage iRacing thinks you actually got. So quick repair, use those wisely, especially at Talladega. But right now, if you're listening on board, we are 6 laps into this 80-lap event. This is John and Rick from the IWM Broadcast Network. If you're enjoying the race and broadcast, make sure to like, subscribe, so we can grow this community of racing fans, so that we can get some more content out and get more broadcasts out, because right now this is going to be, I believe, Rick, is this race 10 or race 11 of the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series?
I think this is based on the schedule. They've just got Charlotte and Homestead left for this inaugural season.
Yep, so 2 races left to decide a champion right now, and your current points leader is going to be the number 88 of Christopher Howell there, followed by Paul Valenstein, John Ledger, Evan Amick, and Kublai Salen there, and they are the top 5. And make sure always to tune in to us again on Tuesday nights for the Grand National Series of the NSRL. Very exciting Xfinity Series there. But Rick, it looks like we have a long line of bottom cars as we are about to go green with 2 IWM drivers, P1 and P2.
They're entering the Geico restart zone, and we are back to green racing here at Talladega.
Green, green, green. Let's see. Oh, stack up wrecking. Checking up in the back, and we're under caution again. That was live. I believe that involved the number 20, your previous leader. Don't really know what happened.
Yeah, I saw Austin Armstrong involved in that.
Yep. He got sent up the wall.
So it looked like there was a lot of checking up going on. Let's ride on board with the.
I mean, it's almost looked like it started with even like up to the 9 and to the 89 of Valenstein there, and Previtt. I don't really know. And then you see the 20 get into the back of the 13. That's just a product of that checking up, and you see the 19 get into the back of the 20, and there's the 88 machine, I believe.
Let's go. Right let's back it up maybe and ride on board with the 19 real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we could try that. Or maybe, let's see what happens here with John Ledger.
Yeah, he had no place to go.
Yeah, I mean, just definitely an accordion effect. I think this started even up further, Rick, with the 9. The 9 or the 89 of Previtt there or Valenstein. Because everybody just started checking up, and you can kind of see towards the bottom of the screen. Well, it was the bottom of the screen. You can kind of see there's a 24 car of Jacob Walker. And there's that, I believe that's a Dude Wipes Camaro in that bright blue car. You can see him closing in on the 89.
Yeah, definitely the accordion effect happening with the 89. That just backed up everybody. So from the 9 position, the 9 car, that's Brad Previtt in the 9.
Yeah, it is. And that's really odd to see. Typically, you don't see a stack up that bad on a restart. I mean, the majority of the cars are on the inside line, but I'm looking right there, the green car, the green and white of the 9 of Previtt in front of him. That is Dan Withers. In front of him, that's Jacob Walker. And I believe that was also... Let's see.
So the 89, he had a good jump, and then he may have backed off.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that was around the 67, the 9, and the 89. That's where that big checkup started. So your previous leader and your pole sitter, the number 20, who is actually the number 16 on the charts, got involved in this. So did the 6 of Travis Murgaard. You have the 13 of Armstrong, of course, going around. He was a car that went to the outside wall. But that was your previous leader, Rick, getting into the back of the 13 machine.
It sure was. So definitely the 13 got some damage. That's Paul. I mean, that's goodness. That's Austin Armstrong. And then looks like Travis Murgaard was not able to see it, and he came through and came up on top of that.
Yep, and don't forget about Christopher Howell there. Your points leader was involved in this wreck, which is unfortunate because, I mean, Talladega is one place where, things can go really right or things can go really wrong. And for that 88 machine, he is already fighting an uphill battle tonight. So we'll see what happens here as these laps do go on, because we are lap 9 of 80 with Matt Swope in P2, and Dave King is now your leader here at Talladega.
All right.
Cautions breed cautions, Rick. It's Talladega.
They do. It certainly does happen. We'd attempt to speak to these guys in their car, but I'm afraid we may have a language issue at this point. There may be some unhappy drivers with that incident.
Yeah, they're not happy. I was kind of looking at some of the chat or listening rather, and it's a very interesting language being used.
Colorful.
I don't blame them. Yeah, a little colorful, which is totally understandable. It's 9 laps into an 80-lap event, and we've had 2 cautions already. So first one obviously was, I think, a lot of aero involved in that, and then you also had that checkup that caused that last spin on the restart. So definitely some frustrating vibes going on here tonight. But it happens. It's Talladega. We've all been there. I know I have been, and sometimes on the wrong end of the stick many times because of just Talladega. It's part of it. So looking right now, we have Dave King and Matt Swope, P1 and P2. And you also have Harley Barletta in P3, Evan Amick in P4, Mark Feeney in 5th, Ryan Pittman in 6th, Tanner Nolan in 7th, Noah Ritter in 8th, Dan Withers in 9th, and Bradley Previtt in P10. And it looks like Blake did come down pit road, and I also believe that John Ledger came down pit road again to top off on some fuel. So we'll see how this plays out for those drivers because everybody else hasn't pit. So this is lap 10. So move that needle a little bit more to lap 30. Everybody else is going to have to pit on probably lap 23 or 24. And Blake there is going to be able to go 6 or 7 laps further than the rest of these drivers here tonight, on the first stop at least.
So we are on board with Mark Feeney in the 73. He is currently sitting in 5th position. This may be an interesting restart, maybe from his perspective. We can kind of take a look and see what happens.
Yeah, he's the 3rd car in that bottom lane behind Harley Barletta there. Harley Barletta's had a great season so far. He's always in the mix at the end of these races. And to his outside, you have Evan Amick, who is having a good run so far in that 77 machine. So we'll see what happens here on the restart. Mark Feeney is all the way up from 11th. Evan Amick is all the way up from 9th. And your leader, Dave King, is all the way up from 7th here tonight. So a lot of drivers making early runs to the front. And I like that move. I like staying out of the chaos. So we'll see what happens here on this restart. Pace car is down again.
So you've got the IWM cars out front. So it should be an interesting restart.
Yeah, it should be somewhat orchestrated. We see the inside line is stacking up there a little bit. Here comes the rest of the field. I'm watching that on another screen to see if we have any more restart chaos. But right now everybody looks pretty spread out. And we're green flag racing. 18 is off. And everybody is pretty spread out.
All right, we are back underway here. Lap 11 of 80 here in the iRacing Warrior Motorsportz Cup Series event at Talladega. And as you would imagine, we've already had a few incidents here.
Yep. Expect to pass. That's going to be a huge run. There goes Harley Barletta to the outside of the 18 machine. And there's the teammate of Dave King going to the back bumper. That is Matt Swope. But here comes the outside lane, going to have a major run. They check up. Major checkup in the outside lane. That's going to move the 18 back to the front of the pack. So you have two distinct lines forming right now. You have about 10 cars in that bottom line. You have about 10 cars in that outside line. And the outside line is the more formed up line between these two. So we'll see if they make a strong run here going as of late. But it looks like we're having some drivers move to the inside line. So very interesting move from all of these drivers here. While Dave King is your leader, followed by Matt Swope, Mark Feeney, Noland, and Withers now moving up to P5.
Well, I certainly think that it takes an experienced driver on that outside line. You've really got to watch your position, especially coming corner entry, corner exit, especially if you've got a big run. So you've got to be really in tune with your car, your position.
Yes, you got to be in tune.
Some guys aren't comfortable with that. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely a preference. A lot of guys like the inside. A lot of guys like the outside. It's purely just how you like to run. And right now, it looks like we have a run coming in from the outside. That is Brandon Barrier leading that outside line outside of Dan Withers going into turn one. He's going to have a line of cars. Tries a side draft. We have Rayo wrecking Rick. Car sideways, car sideways. Saved it. Saved it. No caution. So that was the 21 car, as well as the 9 and the 6 kind of checking up for that. So good save by the 21 machine there.
That's Eric Olvia.
Yeah, it's Eric Olivia there. He's going to be the lone car now trying to get up to that second pack to maybe get a line. But going back to the leaders, Rick, that outside line is still trying to form. That is Brandon Barrier now up there leading a 2-car pack. Not really going to be able to get it done because they don't have any people helping him. But here comes the inside line again. Oh, yep, the 20 just got into the back of the 89 machine, bumping him in the middle of the corner. And then you see Matt Swope and Dave King bump drafting. So you can do that, but there comes on the outside lane. The outside has a huge run. That is a 16 of Blake Giglio. He's making his way back up to the front after that incident, followed by Brandon Barrier in the high lane.
And Paul Valentine in the 89.
Paul Valentine is there. Yep, he is up there. And there goes, I believe,
that's
that is the
17 of Tanner Nolan. Jumps out
Tanner
front.
Nolan. We are 3-wide racing. Now we are 4-wide racing. We're 3-wide again. You have Valenstein, Noland, and Barrier there. Barrier, don't come down. Barrier, don't come down. No.
He was spun. Oh.
And the whole field is in that, Rick. Huge wreck. That is the big one. That is the big one at Talladega, Rick. We watched that live. Unfortunate. Unfortunate for some of these drivers. But, folks, you have just witnessed the big one on lap 15 out of this 80-lap event here tonight. So let's go back and let's just even go for like a chopper cam or something between that 58 and the 89 because we had a lot of action going on between all of these drivers. You can see them already going 3-wide right there, going into turn one. And let's see if we can go to a little bit of I would even say like a chopper cam to see. There we go. That's perfect. Let's see what happens now. You can kind of see they are 3-wide. I think the 58 thought he was clear of the 17. And really just nowhere to go for Tanner Nolan. He gets into the inside, and then Nolan slides up the track. He gets in to the outside car there.
I think we're trying to back it up just a little bit here.
Yeah.
So you got the 17 and the 08, the 13
yeah,
the and the 20, the 16. It is
you get a lot of cars.
It's a melee. Yeah.
I mean, Valentine actually got the best of it. You can see him going right there, but there's Barrier, there's Blake Giglio back up in this. The 17 of Nolan, the 13 who was involved in that last incident, Armstrong was involved. You saw the 24 of Jacob Walker involved in this wreck. There comes the 81 of Harley Barletta, 77 of Evan Amick. I didn't even name all these guys. Evan Amick involved. You see the 25 machine there. That is the 25 of Noah Ritter going backwards on the track. I don't even know where to start with this. I think we should try to maybe go back and do what we did last time, Rick. See if we can see what happened from the back of the field. But those are perfect view. You have the 3 car right there smushed. That's Luke Bullard. I mean, you just have just 10 cars going. I mean, the 24 is up on his side. Just absolute carnage in turn 1 of lap. I believe that was lap number 15. And here comes the 88.
Oh,
nowhere to go. That's
19,
rather. That's a 19 of John Ledger. So let's, Rick, I'd love to see this full speed so we can give the viewers what this would look like going full speed. Let's back this up. I say even to the start-finish line so we can maybe get a full run of this because that was a lot of carnage early on.
All right, we'll focus on Luke Bullard. He seemed to be the center of this. Not that he caused it, but he certainly was in the middle of it. So let's run this at full speed.
Yeah, 24 off all 4 wheels and just nowhere to go. Basically the pack just collapsed up to the outside lane. You had cars wrecking on the outside, cars wrecking on the inside. They slid up and washed up the track, and you have carnage.
They're still
all
wrecking
throughout the field. Yeah, they're still wrecking. So Rick, I'm looking at the field now. You have, I mean, that was 10 cars. That was 10, 11 cars involved in that incident. So you're having a lot of these guys having to use their quick repair already. So a lot of these guys are going to be back in it. So if you're watching, don't get too discouraged. Your driver still may be in this, but quick repairs are definitely going to have to be used. And we'll see where everybody spans out once this race goes green again, and we'll see where everybody is on the track. But it looks like there's the 88 there. There's the 24. There's Paul Valentine there, actually leading your race. He was involved in that last incident with some right side damage, but I wonder if he possibly stayed out. Yeah, he definitely did. So obviously not too bad there.
Let's take a quick look at his car, see if we can see.
Looks good from the back, looks good from the front. Left side looks good. The chase cam looks solid. There's the left rear, looks good. Yeah, that car looks pretty solid.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, so while we were examining that, we had a number of takers on pit roads. You saw Dave King, Travis Murgaard, Harley Barletta, Matt Swope, Dan Withers. All of those guys came down and basically, based on the stop, took fuel and tires.
And they did, and that means that we are going to go back green flag racing again for the 3rd time here. First, we're looking at a very reduced field. We also have some cars on pit road, but a lot of carnage that last time. So with these drivers that have gotten involved in that last incident, they may be down to no quick repairs, Rick, which, with 63 to go, that's a pretty dangerous spot to be in with no quick repairs and, 70%, 80% of the race to go. It's a little bit risky.
Little dicey. And there are a few guys who are just coming off pit road. They're trying to get back to, what the heck?
Whoa, we have...
That was...
All right.
Yeah, so that was, yeah. All right.
A little bit of mischief, trying to hit that pace cone. And looks
yes.
Yeah, a little bit
Armstrong. Austin Armstrong. Okay, so we are, lights are off on the pace car. We are about to go back to green flag racing. We just experienced our 3rd caution. It was the big one. Let's hope it is the only big one. The field has certainly been impacted by this. There are now 16 cars currently on the lead lap.
But it looks like we have a lot of cars that are 1 lap down. You have Walker, that's 1 lap down. Noah Ritter in the 25, 1 lap down. Nolan Amick, Jeff Nani there. Even Nolan could possibly get some laps back if he stays out. But looks like, Rick, lights are off on the pace car. Valentine is your leader. On the outside of him, you have Dave King, and then you have Murgaard, Barletta, and Matt Swope rounding out your top 5. So pace car is off. We'll see what happens here in the Talladega 200. brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network of the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. So there is Travis Murgaard on the bumper of Valenstein there. And once they get into that Geico restart zone, they are good to go whenever that leader wants to. So Valenstein in control. There's the Geico restart zone. And we are off. There goes the number 89. And we're racing again in Talladega.
Big jump by the 89.
89 missed a shift. 89 missed a shift, Rick. Or he shifted way too early because that outside lane, didn't mean to cut you off, that outside lane just jumped up to him. We are 2 by 2 by 2. 5 rows deep here at Talladega, going into turn 3 with Valenstein on the inside line and the iRacing Warriors Motorsports driver of Dave King on the outside line. You have Barletta behind him and Travis Murgaard behind the 89 machine. Let's see if we can get the bigger run coming off of turn 4. 2 by 2 by 2, now 8 rows deep.
We are watching the battle at the front and the battle happening in mid and rear pack. There's a lot of...
Yeah, we are 3 wide right now. Going into turn 1, we've seen how that's caused issues.
It has not been a good choice to go 3 wide on this track. Oh, big move,
what a move by Dan Withers.
Dan Withers has moved down, timing it well, and is now the leader of that lower pack.
Yes, it is, and we are 4 wide racing in the back. We have a car all the way on the outside wall. I can't tell who that is.
That's the 73 of Harley Barletta, I thought. No, Mark Feeney.
Mark Feeney. Mark Feeney is just doing it all by himself out there. We are 3 wide racing again, and that top line had to basically stop the charge of that 73 machine. Looked like he was shot out of a cannon there, and looks like he's going to go to the outside again, Rick.
He's and still we are now 3 through the tri-oval.
3 by 3 right now, going through the tri-oval. A lot of action going on. You see Feeney, Bullard, and Giglio there, 3 by 3.
3 wide mid-pack.
And your leader, Dan Withers, here tonight.
I'm a little nervous. Jeff,
yeah, we're 4 wide. We're wrecking again, Rick. We're wrecking again. Big wreck in the back. And Rick, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw Brandon Barrier involved again in that incident. I believe he threaded a needle, making it 4 wide, and the outside and the inside lane, or I guess the middle lane, collapsed on him. But we can go back and take a look at that.
Let's back that up a bit. There's a lot of
action going on.
There was. All right, let's try to get a better view of what's happening here. I'm trying to figure out whose car we want to stay behind here. Maybe
maybe the 3. Maybe the 3 or the 19 of John Ledger. Either Bullard there or John Ledger, either one. Both of those were right there. I mean, Bullard was in it. So yeah, let's say perfect. Perfect. So there, 3 by 2 by 3.
I'm going to stop it when we see the first little bit of contact. Barrier is on the outside.
There's Brandon Barrier. He's looking at that hole between the 3 and the 73 of Bullard there and Feeney.
That would be 4
He makes it 4 wide. And it looks like that hole just kind of collapsed. 73 came down. That got into the, I guess if you want to say the 58 and 73 collected, there's the 16 getting involved, the 13 again. Here comes the 73 back up the track. I believe he does get into Jacob Walker there. 73 now sliding in front of that 19 machine.
That's John
Ledger. John Ledger does get into the 73.
And here comes the 88 of Howell. He manages to avoid that by probably just slamming on his brakes. Wow.
Yep, so that was just almost kind of similar to what you saw in the Formula 1 race, just the hole closing up way too soon, and that's kind of what happened with Brandon Barrier, Feeney, and Bullard there. Just that hole just closed up.
It's really hard to thread the needle here with what we've got the back live. It's to go 4 wide. There was basically just a car width that was open between there, and you just don't know how someone is going to react at nearly 190 miles an hour on the backstretch here at Talladega to slide your car into that opening. It's just it's
hard. Risky.
Yeah.
It's very risky to do. You have to have a lot of awareness to be able to pull that move off. Because you're not just trusting in yourself to make that move, you're trusting in everybody else around you to hold their line too.
Yep.
So it's really a balancing act of everybody holding their line, because there's 3 distinct lanes there in the backstretch of Talladega. You can almost fit 2 cars in each lane, but still going 4 wide here, it's dangerous no matter where you are on the track. So unfortunate there for those drivers. But it looks like I think we only lost 1 car that was on the lead lap, because now Walker and Previtt are both 1 lap down now. And I think we have Brandon Barrier is that 15th car. So we'll see if he makes it back around. But that is our 4th caution of the night. 23 out of 80 complete here in the Talladega 200, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network, showing you the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series, round 10 of 12 here in this next-gen series. And Rick, Talladega has been proven to be what it is. It's one of the most dynamic tracks, but also one of the most intense tracks on the circuit, and it hasn't disappointed tonight.
Absolutely. And certainly you're going to... This is again what we talked about earlier. This is the high risk, high reward opportunity here. It is early in this race. It's lap 23 for the seasoned driver at this track knows that you have to bide your time. You really have got to take the opportunity and have patience. Yeah.
Yep. That was my first key of the race, and I don't know if I could say myself that I would try to go 4 wide on lap 22 here at Talladega when we have 60 laps to go, but he may have thought he had a run. Who knows? And that whole collapse, it was a lot of factors going into that one. But unfortunate there for all the drivers who got collected in that. It looks like Bullard is still on pit road. It looks like, I believe, Ritter is on the track. But Walker is going to be 1 lap down. Previtt's 1 lap down. Noland, Amick, and Nani are both 2, 2, and 5 laps down here in your 21-car field. But, let's talk about Dan Withers. Dan Withers made a phenomenal move to set himself up to be the leader of this Talladega 200 out of Southern E Motorsports. He is the only Canadian in the field out of St. Martin's, New Brunswick, and we've raced with Dan before for a while. And
I do believe there is another Canadian in the field. I think it may be Austin Armstrong. We'll go back and check that, but there is a fellow Canadian in this field tonight.
Nice. Okay, fantastic. I was not aware of that, but that's awesome. Nice international presence we got going on, or North American presence. But, shout out to Dan Withers. He's done a great job positioning himself as the leader, and he made an amazing move. He had a run. He got to the inside line, and he took charge, and that's what it's going to take to maybe win this race. So we may see that move out of Dan a little bit later on the last lap. But right now, he is letting that pace car just go. Pace car is way out front of the field, and that pace car is going to drop down this time by. And Dan Withers is your control car.
Well, as the field forms up, headed back to the Geico restart zone, we'll see how this plays out.
Yes, we will.
That's the number 6 car of Travis Murgaard right on the bumper of Dan Withers.
Yep, and they are about to get in the restart zone, and Dan is off. We are green flag racing again, going to lap 25 out of 80 tonight, and we have a lot of pushing going on in the back of the field. You see I believe that's the 20 there, or the 16 rather, of Blake Giglio there, going down to the bottom side. You see Dan Withers and Travis Murgaard there on the bottom, but onto the top lane, you have Dave King and Harley Barletta charging to the outside with Pittman going to the high side as well. So outside lane prevails. And now you're seeing a pass for the lead. Harley Barletta going around the 18 of Dave King to take the lead going into turn 3. Inside line is the more developed line here at Talladega right now, but don't look too far back. Here comes Brandon Barrier on the outside line again. Now that outside line has some steam, Rick, and it looks like they're going to go side by side here at Talladega.
Yes, you've got the 18 of David King on the outside, followed closely behind. That's the 08 of Ryan Pittman.
Yep, that is, and that number 16 machine is shoving that 08 through the corner. Got to be careful about that because you can get loose, but he's going to have a major run to the back of the 18. Let's see if he darts down to the bottom side. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Oh, wow, Blake pulls down to the bottom. He's going to go now and lead the bottom line, and that's going to leave the 18 and the 08 up on the top.
We're about to go 3 wide.
Yeah, we are 2 by 2 by 2. 8 rows deep. Outside line's losing some steam to the inside line.
It was a good move by Blake.
Yep, back to the front. The number 16 on the track, the number 20 on the board. Blake Giglio is your leader here. Oh, a little bit of pushing there, gone a little bit wrong. We're stacking up the field a little bit going into turn 1. 9 is in the wall. 3 wide again. Looks like we have a car dropping back. I can't tell who that is all the way up in the back of the field. I believe that is the 58 of Brandon Barrier going to the back of that line right in front of Nolan there. But going back to the front, Rick, we have some side-by-side action. We have some action going on with the outside lane. That's a 6 of Travis Mergard, followed by Valenstein, trying to get a run on the top side. They had nobody to go with them, so they're going to migrate down back to the bottom.
That outside line has fallen back significantly. They've got about 8 cars back as this lower line has formed up solidly, although there's an attempt happening now with the 6 car of Travis Mergard moving to the outside, followed by Paul Valenstein, and the 21 of Eric Olva are trying to reform on the outside.
Yep, that's a good move because they have some help coming behind them. Well, take that back. That help dipped down to the bottom. But now it's going to be a 3-car break on the bottom side of this track, followed by 6 cars on the bottom lane, 5 cars on the top lane here at Talladega. So that is your front 15, essentially, running nose to tail. Outside led by Travis Mergard, inside led by Blake Giglio here, followed by Harley Barletta and Dan Withers in P3.
That first 3 cars was not able to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Matt Swope was able to close that back up with the 20 car behind him, 21 car rather, of Eric Olva. Looks like we've want to be the broadcaster's curse, but we do have it has settled down a bit. We have some more good racing.
And it looks like, everybody's kind of found their groove. They've started to become a little bit more patient. That bottom side is the preferred lane due to the amount of cars that's down there. But you also have the outside lane leading around by Travis Mergard. He's trying to get something started up there. Just nobody really wants to go to the high side right now. But don't look now. But on that high side in that 88 machine, your points leader of Christopher Howell is just sitting back there waiting for something to happen. He is on the outside of Brandon Barrier coming to the line. But that is your lead pack. He now drops down to the bottom. Lap 30 of 80 complete here tonight.
So we'll keep an eye on the fuel situation. We expect that we'll see a number of drivers in. Your lead pack pitted around lap 16, although Blake Giglio did come in and top off fuel on lap 22, so he's probably good to go for a bit longer than the rest. But your 2, 3, 4, and 5, really pretty much a good bit of the top 8 cars pitted on lap 16. So we should look for them. We'll see what happens.
Oh, 3 wide. Whoa, 4 wide, Rick. We have a lot of action going on. Car below the yellow line. We're about to have 3 wide racing for the lead. Valentine going to the top side. Mergard in the middle. And we are 3 by 3 back again at Talladega. Now we're 2 by 2, but in the middle You have the 67 of Dan Withers, who's kind of left out to dry with the Brandon Barrier machine up in the high lane. And we have a pass for the lead. That is a 16, cutting right in front of the front bumper of Valenstein. I don't think Valenstein liked that very much, as he is now pushing that number 16 into turn 3. The 16 shut the door on that number 89 machine, but that's what happens at Talladega. So a little bit of chaotic action going on between these top 14. And I could see Valenstein, he is not happy on the radio.
They just wrecked.
Big wreck.
wreck.
Hold it. 16 was actually the only one. Oh, Brandon Barrier got into it. Yep. So, I don't know if that was out of frustration. I don't know if that was out of running out of room, Rick. But I do know that the 89 was not that pleased with that last move from the number 16 of Blake Giglio. But let's go back on the replay, see what happened here, because it looked like it was only a single car spin. Nobody else really got involved in this. Everybody kind of split the gap. But let's go maybe from a chase view of the 89 car, see exactly what he was seeing as that. So I think we should back this up to where, even a little bit further, Rick, I think we should go back to where the 16 came in front of the 89, just so we can see how close that move was between those two drivers, because I know the 89 was shoving that number 16 all the way around. So here they are going into turn 2. 16 was behind the 89. We could probably run this full speed, I would imagine, to get through this. Okay, there we go. 89 does check up or slip up a little bit. Here comes the 16. Whoa! Yeah, I mean, that's as close as you can get, Rick. I mean, you can't get any closer to that or you're spinning through the infield.
Right. A little tight to try and find that spot. I'm sure the 89 was not pleased as he came across his nose.
And here comes the 89. He has a run. Whoa! Did the 16 move up a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's watch this in quarter speed. The 89 is holding his position. He's behind the 16. He goes to move to the outside. The 16 comes up to block, and he was not clear. That is on the 16.
Yeah, that was... looks like he did apologize for that. I just saw that over the radio. The 16 did. But, I mean, what a job by this field, though. The entire field missed that 16 car, Rick. As he was sliding through the middle of the track, everybody missed him. So kudos to everybody on the field. We did have, unfortunately, Brandon Barrier did get into the side of the number 16 machine, but I think he should be all right, should be back out there. But right now, lap 33 of 80 complete, 5 cautions in, and we have a very interesting race going on. So right now, it looks like your leader is actually going to be Travis Murgaard, followed by Matt Swope, Mark Feeney, Dave King, and Harley Barletta is your top 5 here tonight.
So in the 16 car, Blake Giglio, Ryan Pittman, Brandon Barrier, Brad Previtt are all on pit road. The leader, Travis Murgaard, Matt Swope, last pitted on lap 16, and we are now at 33.
Interesting.
Same with Dave King, who is currently showing in 4th, also pitted on lap 16. So everybody else, Mark Feeney in the 73 pitted on lap 22. Beyond that, everybody was in around lap 32. So those guys are potentially they're playing the long game. So we'll see how it goes.
See what happens here once this race starts to unfold a little bit. We are almost halfway through this Talladega 200, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network, and we are showing you the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series here tonight. And it's been an eventful race, Rick. We've seen some 3-wide, some 4-wide that didn't really work out very well, but you have seen that action tonight, and I think we have a blown motor.
Right? Who?
I thought I just saw a blown motor. I may be wrong, but I saw a puff of smoke.
Well, it could possibly be with a lot of front end damage. There's not there's potentially a chance that I do see 2 drivers on pit road. John Ledger is currently in.
It was actually the 20 car. The 20 car kind of locked him up a little bit, and it looked like a blown motor. But he is actually back on the track. He is now in P11. So yeah, sorry for the scare there. If you are a number 16 of Blake Giglia fan, yeah, I thought it was Blake, but 16 is looking like he is all strong and ready to go. Yeah, just split his tires, and that caused a little bit of smoke there. So looking on board now, you have the Castrol Ford Mustang of Travis Murgaard up in P1. On the outside, you have Matt Swope in P2. On the inside, you have Mark Feeney, Dave King, and Harley Barletta, followed by Eric Olivia, Austin Armstrong, Luke Bullard, Noah Ritter, and Paul Valenstein. And that is your top 10 tonight. We have 17 cars on the lead lap, with Brandon Barrier being the last car on the lead lap. He is the bright white and yellow car on the inside line, all the way in the corner of your screen. And this has been a pretty eventful race, and it's been very hectic, if I could say so myself. I really don't know how to describe this race. It's been very hectic.
This is our 5th caution of this event. Lots of lead changes and specifically movement throughout the different lines that have formed up here. So we're keeping an eye on what's going on here to try and keep you up to date as you follow us along. We appreciate you here on the IWM Broadcast Network.
Yes, we do. And if you are enjoying what you're seeing, we would so greatly appreciate it if you gave us a like or a subscribe, because we're going to bring you more iRacing League content coming soon. We have this series ending up here in about 2 weeks, and we have the Speed Demon NSRL Grand National Series every Tuesday night. Not this Tuesday, but starting next Tuesday, they're going to resume action in that great series. But it looks like Travis Murgaard is the control car, and he is off. We are green flag racing again in the Talladega 200 here at Talladega. So looking on board, it looks like both lines just didn't get a restart there, Rick.
No, they were not formed up as you would typically expect, and that has stretched out the field, which can sometimes be a problem if you're the leader and you don't have someone pushing you who's right behind you. Of course, you're seeing 73 of Mark Feeney coming up behind Travis Murgaard, but you could actually end up stalling a bit. In fact, Travis Murgaard is down below the yellow line on the backstretch.
He may just be dropping to the back, which I don't fully blame him for. Unless he has an issue with that number 6 machine, he is dropping all the way to the back. So your new leader here tonight is Mark Feeney, and we have a car on pit road. It looks like that is can't tell who that is. That is Matt Swope coming down pit road all by himself, Rick. I mean, that's a very risky move, coming down pit road all by yourself. But we have 3 wide action again. We have Blake Giglia going to the outside of that number 82 machine of Matt.
It looks like you've got Swope and Murgaard both on pit road right now. So
yeah, we'll see what happens there. That outside lane stalled out quite a bit. But up front, Mark Feeney.
And Austin Armstrong behind him at the 13. Followed by the 21 of Eric Olva, Luke Bullard in the 3, Noah Ritter in the 25, and Paul Valenstein in the 89 in 6th place.
Yep, that is your top 6 right now. You see the outside lane starting to try to form up a little bit here, going to lap 37 out of 80. We are 3 laps away from halfway here in this 200-mile event. Mark Feeney is your leader. Doing a great job holding a solid line. I mean, he's dead as an arrow through that corner. So fantastic line there. And behind him is a very familiar paint scheme, the mellow yellow paint scheme. We have a little bit of blinking going on, Rick. I think that is the... it's a 21. That is the 21 of Eric Olivia. So if you're not familiar to iRacing, what blinking is, really quick, is when you have a little bit of a connection lag with the server. So what happens is your car literally disappears and reappears, hence the blinking. So when you disappear, you can't see anybody. When they can't see you either. So it does pose a little bit of a danger, but it looks like that 21 has got that all settled out. And still leading them around is Mark Feeney.
All right, lap 38, about to go 39.
We have a lot of dicing going on in the back there, Rick. It's a lot of side-by-side racing, and people just jockeying for position.
It looks like the top 9 are in a single. Well, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on now.
As soon as you said that, that is a 16, and the 18 going to the outside. It's going to break up that inside line. Now I believe that's a 16 behind the 89. Going to the outside of the 89 now is Blake Giglio, your pole sitter. He is now trying to make his march back up to the front.
Yeah,
but now
I'm trying to watch these two between the 16 and the 89. There was some earlier some earlier incident that they were both involved in.
Yep, and I think all is settled there. I don't think they have any bad blood because I believe the 16 did apologize for coming up, so should be all squared away. But looking right now, you have some cars that were involved in some earlier incidents. You have Luke Bullard, you have Valenstein there, and here comes the outside lane again, Rick. That is led by the 16 of Blake, followed by the 25 machine of Noah Ritter and Brandon Barrier behind him. So here comes the outside lane trying to battle that inside lane. There goes the 18 of Dave King to the bottom side trying to support that bottom lane. Now that outside lane only has 4 cars, with Harley Barletta joining the tail end of that outside lane. So we'll see what happens here. The inside seems to be the preferred lane here in this 5 to 10 car pack that we have going on up in the front. And looks like we have some cars dropping back as well. So we'll keep our eyes on this front pack as time goes on. But the 13 now jumps to the outside. 16 goes 3 wide. 21 slides up. 3 by 3. Again, here comes Brandon Barrier. He's going to shoot the middle. He's going to have a run. Uh-oh, Rick. That's all I got to say. When I see 3 wide, I just say, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And there goes the 16, dropping right in front of Mark Feeney. He is now your new leader here tonight. And back to the outside, there goes Mark Feeney. He is all by himself, followed by the 21 car of Eric Olivia. He's going to now go around and lead this lap. He's like, hey, Blake, you know what? If you can do that, I can do that too. So Mark Feeney now back up to the point, followed by Eric Olivia.
So as you can see, there's lots of position changes here. There is also appears to be a lap car.
It's Travis Murgaard, and we're going to go 3 wide racing again, Rick, with that lap car on the high side. We'll see how this goes. Got to pay very close attention. Oh, last second move there by the 16 machine. And we are side by side going through turn 3 and turn 4 right now. Nice job by Travis Murgaard staying up in the top. I don't know what happened with his number 6 machine, but he is now 1 lap down.
So your leader at the stripe is Blake Giglio, now moved back up into the lead, followed by Paul Valenstein.
Just phenomenal driving by that number 16 car. I mean, he's been all over the track making moves, and he's somebody I would look forward to at the end of this race. So the 2 drivers who got into a little bit, the 89 and the 16, now battling for P1, with Mark Feeney now shoving the rear end of that number 89 machine, trying to get a run. And that 20 or 16 route was going to be left out to dry because that outside lane just dissolved. So 16 is just going to be left to some side drafting unless he can slide down. Looks like he's not going to be able to until he gets by right there. So have some pit stops going on, though, Rick. It looks like we have...
That should be Dave King. Yep, that should be Dave King coming in.
So now we're back to single file racing here with 8 cars in this lead pack.
There is a second pack that's back there about. Let's see what that gap looks like. Yeah, about 5-6 seconds back. That's Christopher Howell.
Yep, there they are. That's a big second pack. So basically 2 strategies going on here at Talladega. Whoa, big move by the 16 machine and the 13 machine there. So it looks like they want to make the move to the outside very early on, which is a very interesting move here at Talladega. 16 was thinking about going beneath the number 3 of Luke Bullard there, shut the door on him. But we are still single file racing here at Talladega. And as soon as I say that, there goes the 16 to the outside of Luke Bullard. Nobody there to support the 16. It looks like, Rick, the 16 just wants to go to the front and stay there. But nobody's wanting to really go with them as of late.
He's going to good chance of cycling back here with no help. We are on board the 16 on this backstretch.
Well, now he has some outside help because that inside line moved to the outside line. Now you have Paul Wallenstein leaving the bottom open. Here comes the 25. Whoa, major action. It looks like the 73 may be pitting this time by. I believe he is, but we have 3 wide racing, Rick. Oh, this is scary. Oh, goodness. 3 wide going into the tri-oval. Always a scary sight to see. You have barrier there. You have the 16 involved.
So there's not a lot of room for error coming through the tri-oval 2 wide, not even thinking 3 wide.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, but the issue with the tri-oval there, Rick, is the cars get light. And that is what's going to cause a lot of movement between these next-gen cars. So right now, back to the point is Wallenstein there, followed by the 21 of Olivia and the 25 of Noah Ritter, but don't look too far back. That 3 car is getting a shove, and the 21 tried to block.
Wrecking the 16, the 21 up into the 16. The 16 held it. We are still not under caution.
Don't come down, don't come down, don't come down, don't come down, don't come down.
He's got some damage.
That was scary, Rick.
Yep.
So that 16 is now damaged. I hope that does not bring out a caution. I hope he retires or goes to pit road, because if that car stops, that will bring out a caution here tonight.
Looks like he's definitely got some damage to suspension parts.
Yeah, probably that right front toe is damaged. Rick, I don't know if he's under control, this car. This car is going to stop right there.
And, well, he's... Yeah, that right front is damaged. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on, Rick. Okay, yep. He does retire. I thought that caution was going to fly, but it did not, as the leaders are now making their way into the tri-oval as we speak. So your leader, Luke Bullard, followed by Armstrong, is your new leader here tonight.
So you've got this lead pack of 4 cars. Luke Bullard, Austin Armstrong, Noah Ritter, and Brandon Barrier are your top 4. And then you've got the pack led by Christopher Howell charging their way back up. And that is a gaggle of cars. Howell, Withers, Barletta, Ledger, Olivia, Previtt, and Pittman all back there.
Yep, they are about a corner behind, a half a corner behind these guys, and that 88, I gotta say, Rick, Christopher Howell is on the prowl here tonight, looking to secure another victory in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. As 89 to the outside. That was not 89, the 88 rather. 88 got shot to the outside. Not really sure what happened there. Maybe got pushed in the tri-oval, but back on a little further on back, there was some action going on.
This group in the front is not helping their cause by battling side by side here as a group. That's allowing the group behind them to catch up rather substantially.
Yep, there goes the 89 to the bottom side. They are now even closer, Rick. This third pack is gaining fast. They are 1.9 seconds behind the leader of what was Luke Bullard, now is Armstrong. So that second pack is closing in on this, basically, I'm going to call it a 4-car breakaway between Bullard, Armstrong, Ritter, and Barrier.
So here we are at 49 of 80. That pretty much tells you that 30 laps left. The majority of this field has pitted on lap 32.
Brandon Barrier is going to make a run for the lead, it looked like. He's going to the outside, going to the inside, now going to the outside. But, Rick, those cars are essentially all by themselves now. That, I got to tell you, the speed difference between those drivers right now is phenomenal. Luke Bullard is going 181 miles an hour through this corner. If we go back a little bit further and take a look at the the Christopher Howell machine, he's already up to 186, 187. So this pack is going to be closing in on these leaders very soon.
They are, and we've got Brandon Barrier leading that lap at lap 50. Now, again, these guys pitted on lap 32. 20 laps says lap 52, so we could see a green flag pit stops happening soon in the next 2 to 3 laps, unless there's a caution.
Well, this is going to be interesting, Rick, because that second group is there. Oh, Brandon Barrier got turned, and we are wrecking in front of the field. There goes the 88 into the outside wall or inside wall. Luke Bullard's involved. Gosh.
That's unfortunate.
Let's go and take a look back at that incident, Rick. It started, I believe, around the leaders. Looked like, I think the pusher was getting pushed, and I believe the 13 was pushing the 3, which pushed the 3 even further into that number 80 or 58 machine, rather, or my bad, 85 machine of Brandon Barrier. So we'll see what happens here as we are looking on back of the Brandon Barrier machine. Luke Bullard's going to give him a push because he knows that second pack is there and closing.
Yeah, it looks like that mellow yellow car is coming up behind Bullard. Looks like he is not square when Bullard tapped the rear end of Barrier, sending him into the safety barrier, and then
sending him back down the track, collecting 3 out of the top 4, and then also collecting Christopher Howell there in the right rear. So 4-car incident here at Talladega, right in front of the pack. And luckily, only 4 cars were involved in that, Rick. That could have been another big one with the speed of this second pack coming in. You can see the 88 at the top of your screen hitting that inside wall. So as soon as we were talking about Christopher Howell coming on the prowl, he's going to have to make his way back up through this field again.
If he's got, if he can, there's a lot of damage. He's been a lot of incidents we should see. We are seeing a lot of cars. Here comes the
entire field. Yep, the entire field's coming down. The only car that did not pit is the 24 of Jacob Walker, who is 1 lap down. So he will get his lap back. But everybody else is on pit road. Who is going to be the first car off? Oh, looks like that's going to be the 81 of Harley Barletta, followed by the 13 of Armstrong there.
Those are all the rest of the field. Fuel-only stops. Looks like Luke Bullard took 4 tires. Austin Armstrong took right sides. So we're showing, I think we're showing Mark Feeney on the top of the of the tower
Mark
right now.
Feeney. Yep, he will be your leader, but looks like that is also going to give 1 lap back to Travis Murgaard. So Travis Murgaard is going to be back on the lead lap. The reason why is because he's in front of the leader and he's behind the pace car. So he'll get a wave around once we get 1 to go here at Talladega. 28 laps to go. 6th caution of the night.
That was a melee.
to put it simply, Rick, yes, it was a melee.
So the top 10 are on the lead lap.
Your first car lap down, I believe, is actually going to be Matt Swope because Jacob Walker got his lap back, and I believe also Travis Murgaard's going to get his lap back. So you're going to have 12 cars on the lead lap. First car lap down will be Matt Swope, followed by Brandon Barrier, Noah Ritter, and Christopher Howell. Your points leader is 1 lap down here tonight. Now, with the amount of cautions we've had, Rick, with Lady Luck going your way, you never know what's going to happen. But right now, it looks like we're going to have about a 12-car pack for racing for position here on the lead lap.
"28 laps to go here at Talladega for this iRacing Warrior Motorsports event here. I'm your announcer, Rick Souza. I've got John Drugers here in the booth, joining me as my broadcast partner. We appreciate you tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. We thank you, and like and follow whatever stream you're watching us on, and we hope to have you next week when we broadcast the next event for these iRacing Warrior guys. They'll be at Charlotte.
Ooh, that's a fun race. Ooh, you may see somebody drop down to the track there, Rick, and maybe get some get some track time. We'll see. We'll see. I love Charlotte. I remember everybody starts out on iRacing in the street stocks, and you remember racing at Charlotte and Charlotte and USA. I loved racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So we'll see what happens next week. But that is race 11 out of 12 for these iRacing Warriors Motorsports guys. And looking at a YouTube comment, I believe we actually have a driver commenting. Jacob Walker, he said, "About time I got my lap back." Yes, it is about time you got your lap back, Mr. Walker. Now, I think, texting and driving is not permitted here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. Or I guess YouTube commenting and driving? Never heard of that one before. But yes, so Jacob Walker is going to get his lap back. And Previtt is also on the lead lap now. So looking on back, we have 4 cars, 1 lap down, led by Swope. You have Ritter, Howell, and Murgaard there. Nolan Dynamic 2 laps down. Brandon Barrier still on pit road. Nee is 5 laps down. Ballenstein is on pit road. And Blake Giglio, the 16, your pole sitter, is out of this race. So we have a brand new set of drivers here, essentially mixed in through the field. You have the 17 up there. You have Jeff Nani back up there. So you have a lot of these drivers that are, got involved in earlier incidents that are back in this race. So we'll see what happens now as Mark Feeney is your leader.
Pace car is down off, and we'll have the 73 of Feeney leading us into the Geico restart zone.
Yes, we will. Followed by the 13 of Armstrong right behind him. The Geico restart zone is about to come into effect here right now. And Mark Feeney is off. Green flag racing again here in Talladega. 26 laps to go when they hit the line. Oh, Dan Withers maybe spun the tires a little bit on the outside lane.
I don't know. It looks like the car in front of him, the 81 of Barletta, may have missed a shift or whatever, and he had to figure out how to hang on or go around.
Yeah, something happened there with those 2 cars, but it looks like everybody's able to keep their car straight as we go through turn 1 and turn 2. So let's see what happens here as we have the whole field now stacked up.
Oh,
down the backstretch.
That's Dave King trying to jump up to the outside.
Yep, there is Dave King to the outside line, followed by Harley Barletta and Dan Withers up in the top line. So we'll see if that top line can now get some momentum now that they have a full pack of cars. We have a lot of dicing going on in the back of this field, Rick, or this middle of the field. And the 67 machine of Dan Withers is now left out to dry, I believe, on the top line. He is all by himself, nowhere to go. So he's going to drop all the way back because we have about 10, 15 cars on the inside line.
Yeah, there's outside lines forming back up, but everybody at that time in that lap decided they wanted to be on the low line through. There's just so much going on track right now. A lot of jockeying for position.
Yeah, just a lot, and that's what happens at Talladega. So, so much going on. We have about 10 cars in that, now 11 cars in that inside line. 4 cars, 5 cars on the outside line, trying to get something formed up. You see Christopher Howell trying to side draft mid-pack, trying to get a run, but Mark Feeney is now leading again here, followed by Armstrong in second, Pittman in third, Olivia in fourth, and Dave King rounding out your top 5. And it looks like we're 3 wide again. We have Walker, we have Bullard, and we have Dan Withers in the back.
pretty much coming off of turn 2, every one of these cars has a run, and they change and take every opportunity to change their position. And in doing so, there's a lot of movement going on.
Yes, there is, and that's the danger that you face, especially running at these high speeds.
So Christopher Howell is leading the outside line, followed by Travis Murgaard, the 3 car of Luke Bullard. Oh, Wrecking,
24 to the outside wall. That is Jacob Walker. That's Jeff Nini involved.
Apparently, texting while driving is not a good idea.
It doesn't look like that, Rick. Unfortunate there for the 24 of Jacob Walker. Hopefully he wasn't texting while driving, but he is now just absolutely obliterated the front end of that car. I think he actually got sent up the track a little bit. The way that car is angled right now, we will see
we can
what
back
happens.
it up a little bit. So here's
all right.
So he was behind the 40, and looks like he decided to try and take the center line. We'll take it ahead here. The 40 is in his lane. He's good. He's coming on down. The 82 is still there, but it's tight.
I mean, he's still on the racing surface, so that is strong positioning there. They are 3 wide. I just don't think the 24 realized that the 40 car was up there in his lane.
He just came right up into him.
Yeah, unfortunate there, and I think that involved, 24 is down. There's a 25 again, right in front of Dan Withers in the 9, so Dan got involved in that.
I think the 9 may have squeaked through a little bit.
Yeah, I think he did. Let's ride on board now with the number 9 of Brad Previtt, because he was right there when all of this started happening and unfolding among the 24 and the 40 car.
All right, here we go. We're running through it live at full speed.
Whoa. Yep.
Maybe a tiny little bit of damage as that car came across his nose, but not terrible. But yeah, it's clear the 24 drifted up into the line of the 40 of Jeff Nini, taking him out, collecting the 25. The 25 comes down and goes right across, a tiny bit of contact to the 9 on the nose, and unfortunately there's some damage.
Yeah, there is, and looks like Jacob did apologize for that over the chat. So obviously, unfortunate there for those cars. Those are all fast cars, but Rick, what that's going to do is going to make this essentially a 20-lap shootout. And what's interesting is they can't make it to the end. None of these cars right now, with 22 to go, could make it to the end of this race, because the max number of laps, even if you try to conserve, is going to be 20. So every one of these cars is going to have to come down pit road at some point in time, which, if there's not another caution, Rick, this could become a fuel mileage race.
Yeah, so the number 3 of Luke Bullard came down at lap 58, as well as Dave King, John Ledger, Dan Withers. I'm not sure what the damage situation is on his car. He came down as well. Swope and Walker came down at lap 57. So there's a good chance that those guys who are 1 lap down are in a better position than Mark Feeney, who came in at lap 44. And really the top 5, Armstrong, Pittman, Olivia Barletta, Brad Previtt in the 9, all came down at lap 51. Mark Feeney came down at lap 44, so he is well overdue. He'll definitely need some juice in that car.
Yes, he will. And it looks like we just got word that Brad Previtt actually did not get any damage from that last incident. It kind of looked maybe a little bit like it did, but it looks like we got some word that number 9 car is strong and ready to go, riding there in P6 to fight this one out. among the rest of these drivers. So what's going to be interesting to see if anybody comes down pit road right now, because if I was Feeney, I would come down. There we go. Here's everybody.
Yep.
Except, wow, we have some people who did not come down pit road. That is Pittman. Barletta did not come down pit road. You have Privet not coming down pit road. You have Bullard there not coming down pit road. So you have a lot of drivers.
So Pittman
on different strategies.
Yeah, Pittman and Barletta came through, and Previtt all came down through on lap 51, 52. So maybe they're gambling on the fact that there's going to be another caution. With what we've seen, this is our 7th caution of the night. There's always a possibility.
There is 7 cautions in 60 laps essentially. So let's do a little bit of math there. Yeah, I think that's what it's about every 7 laps essentially. 7 or 8 laps we have a caution. Yeah, something like that. So we have had an abundance of cautions, but hence that is why we have quick repairs. So with a quick repair, these guys can get back out there if they get kind of a fortunate situation. A race is not completely ruined essentially, which it can happen to anybody. So we'll see what happens now as the field is stacking up 2 by 2, 21 to go here in the Talladega 200, with Pittman as your leader, Barletta in P2, Brad Previtt in 3rd, Luke Bullard in 4th, Dan Withers in 5th, Austin Armstrong in 6th, Mark Feeney in 7th, Eric Olivia in 8th, John Ledger in 9th, and Dave King rounding out your top 10 here tonight with last car on the lead lap, Christopher Howell. So we'll see what he's able to do, starting all the way in the back. He is probably one of the best cars when it comes to fuel mileage, because, Rick, if you think about this, I mean, he is behind everybody, but also he's going to have the strongest toe out of anybody in the field, so he may be sitting there saving gas up until a couple laps to go.
We shall see. It's based on what we've seen so far. There's a couple cars at the front, Ryan Pittman and Harley Barletta, and Brad Previtt, who did not pit since lap 51 or so. So we'll see what how this shakes out.
We shall see. The 08 is the control car for the restart here. 4 cars on the outside lane, a slew of cars on the inside lane. And right now, you have the 81 of Barletta right into the outside of Pittman. They are about to enter the restart zone. Green flag racing again here at Talladega. 20 laps to go. And Rick, I think this is going to get pretty exciting here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series.
As if it hasn't been exciting so far.
The entire race. I mean, exactly. We've had moves, 3 wide, 4 wide, cars flip. I don't think we haven't had a rollover yet. As I say that, we're probably going to have one on this next lap. But you already see a lot of jockeying for position already between these top 10 drivers. Now outside lane is forming up as they go into turn 3.
Ryan Pittman is your leader here on lap 60, with 20 laps to go.
And there's the outside lane prevailing, and there's some cars coming down pit road. We have some takers coming down pit road. So this is going to shake it up a little bit. Are these leaders going to be able to make it? Because they have exactly 20 laps to go. Are they going to be 1 lap down? We have a 3 wide situation. He's going to crouch the inside. He's not going to let that car come back up. That was the 9 of Brad Previtt there.
So you've got Austin Armstrong, Mark Feeney, Eric Olivia, and Dan Withers, who are now on pit road.
Yes, and we have a fierce battle for these top 6 positions, with the outside being led. I believe that is that the 25 car, Rick? I think it is a 25 and the 6 there of Noah Ritter and Travis Murgaard.
Yep, they are on the outside trying to free from that line.
Whoa, Travis, hold on, buddy. And there goes Brad Previtt to the outside line. Here comes your leader. Harley Barletta is now coming down pit road.
Get it stopped. That was really fast.
Oh, he's going to be speeding, Rick. There is no way that car was going pit road speed. That was a wild pit road entrance. But Rick, let's go back to the front. We have some battling going on side by side. We have Brad Previtt, who we were talking about under the break, and looking to the front, there is Is that Jacob Walker out front? I believe it is. Jacob Walker is your leader. Don't look too long. Here comes Brad.
Brad Pevitt is your leader. Ryan Pittman. They are 3 wide. Jacob Walker is the last car on the lead lap.
Whoa, here we go. Watch out, guys. Watch out. We got a lot of action going on. Here comes the 9. They got a little checkup on the outside line. Yeah, you are correct there, Rick. That 24 car is the last car on the lead lap, but we have 3 wide action. There goes the 25 to the outside of the 9.
Oh,
whoa, don't come back down. There we go. Don't go to the outside.
Contact with the 9. He held it.
Good driving there by all 3 of those drivers. That was pretty chaotic between those guys right there. But out front, it is not the 24 car. It is actually Pittman. And right behind the 24 car, that is the number 82 of Matt Swope. So those are not your leaders. The leader is actually the 17 machine. No, take that back. It's the 08 machine. We have 3 lap down cars, quote-unquote lap down cars, actually at the front of this pack. So they are betting that a caution comes out and they are able to get their lap back. But right now, your leader is the 4th car in the bottom line, is the 08 machine of Pittman. Make sure to keep a note of that because this is getting a little confusing, at least for us up here. But looking on board right now, you have Pittman in 1st, Howell in 2nd, Previtt in 3rd, King in 4th, and Bullard there rounding out your top 5.
You got the 13 car of Austin Armstrong. That's that mellow yellow car. He is a lap down. Whoa, there's Wrecking.
Oh, Howell. That was Christopher Howell. Inside lane. There it is. That is not going to brew a caution, I don't believe, because they are so far down on the bottom side of the track. Unless this is an admin caution, I think we're going to stay green, Rick, here with 16 to go. No caution as of yet. I don't see anything going on over the race chatter. We are going to stay green. Green flag racing here at Talladega with those 2 cars basically on the apron, not causing any harm to any damage.
That is not what those cars in the front wanted to hear of Elliott
That was
Swope.
their break.
I mean, Matt Swope. That's correct. That was their opportunity. So
and yeah, Chris. Wow. And now we have 2 distinct packs formed. Really, one being led by those lap down cars, but you have Pittman. It is the first car in there. The Pittman is the only car on the lead lap in that first pack there, Rick.
He is.
He is now I've never seen this before, but Pittman may be able to win this race purely by the rest of the lap down cars. Because he is sandwiched between 3 lap down cars in front of him and 2 lap down cars behind him. And that gap is growing ever so steadily between Previtt and Pittman. What an interesting scenario here at Talladega.
Well, with 14 laps to go, you've got Ryan Pittman up front, running, as John said, sandwiched between some lap down cars, the 24, the A2, the 17, the 13, and the 77.
I gotta say, I thought I've seen it all at Talladega. I haven't. I've never seen a leader pull away from the field because of lap down cars that have a bigger pack. Now, what's going to be interesting is that 5th car has fallen off a little bit in this pack.
We've got that blink here.
That's the 24.
Oh, he just reappeared.
That is going to cause a little bit of maybe some closing between these drivers. I don't know, Rick. That gap is growing ever so slowly between the first place driver of Pittman and Bullard. So just got to make a note. If you're tuning in a little bit late, those are... Whoa, we have a wreck. There goes the 24.
That is the 8th caution of the night. That's Jacob Walker, who has crashed.
If I'm not mistaken, Rick, I think that was it wasn't an admin thrown. I didn't see a car spin. I just saw the smoke.
Yeah.
But it was the 24 of Jacob Walker.
Well, he was blinking earlier. We can go back and see what we can see. Well, we can't see. We can't see. He's no longer.
Let's go to
there he
Matt
is.
Swope. Let's go to the front of Matt Swope's Chevrolet and see if we can see what he saw, because we're not going to be able to see it from Jacob Walker's vantage point. So let's see if we can go onto Matt's car and see exactly what happened here with the 24.
All right, just give me a second. Let the guys in the booth figure this out. All right, we'll play it regular and we'll back it up when we need to.
So here is Matt Swope. They're coming off the corner. There goes the 24 machine. No idea where he is. And you can see the smoke in the rearview mirror there of Matt Swope. And it looked like
he just
what
disappeared.
I can only assume just disappeared, but I wonder if he broke it down to the inside line. Yeah, broke it down to the inside line.
I think he may have lost it when he reappeared.
I mean, he reappeared when he was already hit the wall, it looked like. You can see the smoke, but you just can't see the car. Interesting caution, but one of the most unusual cautions we've ever seen on iRacing, at least for me. One of the craziest scenarios, because you can see it's going to disappear. Poof, he's gone.
Still gone. Still
gone. He's going to reappear here very shortly, I would believe. Maybe. Very nice tunnel that they have here in Talladega. Yeah, he appeared right before he hit that wall, which I guess brought out the caution. Your guess is as good as mine, Rick. I don't know how iRacing picked that up, but they did. Maybe it was the car.
He reappeared going backwards on the backstretch. I've never seen that before.
Never have seen that before, but that was the cause of the caution. I don't see anybody else on the track that had any incidents during this. So unfortunate there for Jacob Walker. Maybe he'll be okay to get back going. I really don't know, but that's going to put Dave King to the lead here with 10 or so laps to go in the Talladega 200, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. And let's just, while we have the chance, Rick, is there anybody you'd want to bring up in the booth really quick and do an in-car interview?
Yeah, we need to bring Matt Swope up here. Let's see if we can get a hold of Matt. Matt Swope, you're in the broadcast booth. How's it going?
Oh, it's been a good race actually. I've actually pretty good. How are you, Rick?
We're doing well. We're a little that little incident with Jacob Walker in front of you was pretty surprising.
Oh yeah. He started blinking there out of nowhere, and I just got to the point though where I was like, I'm not gonna let off the gas. He's gonna pop up wherever he pops up, and that time he popped up on my bumper, so I happened to spin him.
Oh, so we on the broadcast it didn't even look like that's what happened. We just saw him spinning, and the caution came out. I mean, we just saw him disappear, and the next thing you know, you have a caution. But it looks like you are going to be back on the lead lap. This race has been crazy. 3 wide, 4 wide action. 10 laps to go, Matt. You're one of the best here at Talladega. We know this is your favorite track. So let me know what is your strategy to get it done here with 10 to go.
10 to go. I'm going to tuck in behind somebody here for probably the last 6, 7, 8 laps. And if I could find a good spot in the middle, I'm going to take my runs in the middle and try to shoot up through the middle. People seem to shy away from the middle for some reason here at Talladega, and I love it. So that's where you'll find me at the end.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and have a great race.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, John.
All right. That is this is going to be exciting. That's all I got to say for these drivers out here tonight. And looking on board, there is the 18 of Dave King. To the outside of him is Luke Bullard there. To the inside, you have Brad Previtt to the outside. Of Ryan Pittman, and to the inside, you have our in-car reporter of Matt Swope. We just spoke with him, and, well, we know he's going to possibly shoot the middle here at some point, and I wouldn't doubt it, and I do like that move. It's a very nice move. to make. You just got to make sure you make it to the right time. So we'll see what happens here. 10 to go. We coming to 9 to go with only 12 cars on the lead lap here at Talladega. So we've whittled this field down from 21 drivers, essentially down to 12 on the lead lap. And Rick, I don't think we're done with the cautions yet.
Well, let's hope they can get this in. But we do have a number of green-white checkers available to us if we need to do it. It's I'd love to say that never happens, but here especially, it could be interesting.
Interesting. Well, they're about to go green flag racing here again at Talladega. Dave King is your leader in that iRacing Warriors Motorsportz Chevrolet.
All right, pace car is down. You got Luke Bullard on the outside. Dave King is in command, entering the Geico restart zone.
This is going to be a crazy restart, Rick. 18 is about to get into the restart zone, and he is off. We are green flag racing, 9 laps to go here at Talladega. Oh, goodness, Rick. We'll see what happens here. This is going to get crazy between all of these iRacing Warriors Motorsportz drivers. Everybody fighting for position and jockeying for position. But right now, the 18 of Dave King is your leader, followed by Brad Previtt. Now the 3 car of Luke Bullard there drops to the bottom. And to the outside, you have there Ryan Pittman, your sole car on the outside until you go all the way back.
Whoa,
basically,
whoa.
6. Whoa. Get a little bit dicey.
Oh. That 13 car of Austin Armstrong, I have no idea how he put that car in that place.
I have no idea either, Rick. That was one of the gutsiest moves we've seen this time by. We are coming to 8 to go, and we have movers all throughout this field here. You have the 8 being pushed by the 13 there going to the outside, followed by Evan Amick in the outside. So we have 3 wide racing now. 3 wide. Now right. 2 wide. Okay, so they settled that thing out a little bit. And to the outside, there goes Matt Swope. We know he's not afraid to make it 3 wide. We saw that from the in-car interview we had. But to the lead is Ryan Pittman, 8 to go on the backstretch. .13 is now pushing that leader to the front. Drops to the inside line going to 3. Oh, there goes Elliott. I mean, not Elliott, there goes Matt. I called him his brother. Whoops. I do it all the time. There goes Matt Swope to the middle. You know, he is not scared to do that. Oh, we have cars sliding through turn 3 and 4. But that's the danger of going into the middle, Rick. No one's going to go with you. So this is going to be interesting to see what Matt can do here. He does look like he's able to get to the bottom side, so he is now back in line there behind the rest of this inside lane.
Oh, wrecking in the back.
I think we are wrecking in the back. No caution as of yet. 7 to go. No caution. And we're wrecking in the front. Leaders are wrecking, Rick. Big wreck in the front. The entire field. The entire field is wrecking. Those are your... Oh, my gosh. That is the big one. Big one part 2 has struck with 7 to go at Talladega. Goodness gracious, Rick.
Wow. All right, so we'll try to dissect this latest caution with 7 laps to go here. So Dave King survived it. The 82 of Swope, Luke Bullard, John Ledger, all those guys survived it. Let's go back to Ryan Pittman. I think that may have been, let's go back, as it was before this.
Yeah, that's a 7-8 car incident there. We'll see what happened.
Let's go on board with, or at least let's get the shot from far chase from, I think Matt Swope may have had a better.
Yeah, he may have had a better view of this, and we'll see exactly what happened here coming off the corner. May have to go a little bit further ahead. Kind of hard to see. We may need to go to the number 3 of Luke Bullard. He looked like he could have been one of the main drivers involved in this. There's Valenstein behind him with Dave King up in front. There's a 13 to the outside lane. '18 has a run. 8 is kind of indecisive of where he's going to go.
18's following him and may have gone into the left rear quarter panel of the 13. Goodness, let's go back. Let's take a better look at that shot. Let's back that up just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like the 13 was also barely moving down in that second lane, and the 18 and the 13 collided, and there's the 08 getting involved in this. And then here comes Valentine getting into the right front of Luke Bullard. Here comes the 82 of Matt Swope. Whoa, dodges the first car going the wrong way on the track.
I think he clears
And
the
he
13.
clears the wreck.
He does. It's about time he takes that horseshoe out of his pocket. That was a pretty amazing bit of driving there. So, yep, we've got a lot of cars who are wrecked.
A lot of cars involved in that last incident, Rick. That is going to leave us with, I believe, 10 cars on the lead lap. So let's, we haven't done this race. Let's take this time to run through the field with the remaining 10, 15 cars here with 5 to go, starting with Dave King up in the front, leading from his comfortable home in Charlotte, North Carolina. His hometown there, Dave King, one of the iRacing Warriors Motorsports drivers here leading around. In P2, you have Luke Bullard there in that Dude Wipe Camaro, sharp car there. Love Dude Wipes, they're awesome. Let's go to P3, Matt Swope, right there in the 82 machine, another iRacing Warriors Motorsports driver. He is not afraid to make it 3 wide. And behind him, you have the points leader, Christopher Howell out of Chesapeake, Virginia, in that number 88 Fanatec Toyota Camry, one of the only Toyotas here in the field.
All right, you've got Harley Barletta in 5th place in the 81. Behind Harley, you've got the 73 of Mark Feeney. Behind Mr. Feeney, you've got Travis Murgaard in that white number 6. Dan Withers is still alive in that 67 car. Dan is currently in 8th place. In 9th, you've got John Ledger in the 19. And in 10th, you've got Jacob Walker in the 24.
Which it says he is back on the track. It looks like his connection issues have lasted. Hopefully that'll get all settled out, but it looks like Dave King is going to be your leader with 4 laps to go. Essentially, Rick, this is kind of going to be a green-white checkered. It's basically going to be a green-green-white checkered because we will have 3 laps to go, and then we'll have 2 laps to go. Then we'll get the white flag. But right now, this is not actually counting as a green-white checkered, so got to make that note on the broadcast. So we have to go around basically 2 times before we get that white flag, that coveted white flag where if anything happens after that, you are going to have the end of the race, essentially. Or if iRacing doesn't decide to call it, they don't decide to call it. But right now, you have 2 iRacing Warriors Motorsports cars on the inside with the Dude Wipe Chevrolet of Luke Bullard and Christopher Howell there in the top line. You have Harley Barletta there in the Mountain Dew Chevrolet, followed by Travis Murgaard in the bottom lane. And you have Mark Feeney up in the top lane. Behind him, you have Dan Withers. You also have I believe that is the 17 of Noland, who is 1 lap down. Who knows? Maybe he'll be able to get 1 lap back. Maybe we'll have another caution. Who knows? But right now, Rick, essentially going to be 3 to go when we come to the line. This is going to be wild. This is going to be a crazy finish.
And you've got some teammates paired up here. You've got Swope and King, as well as you've got Christopher Howell and Barletta. So there could be some teams battling here and paired up for position.
You absolutely do. Here they come around turn 3 and turn 4. Pace car is going to drop down this time by 4 to go in the Talladega 200, brought to you by the iRacing Warriors Motorsports broadcast network in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series.
Coming down the front stretch, about to enter the Geico restart zone. They are nose to tail. Outside line.
Nose to tail.
Here
comes the outside line a little bit. And we are green flag racing. Dave King is your leader, coming to 3 to go at Talladega.
That outside line lagged about a car length or two, and it shows here. There's a big gap between that lead car and that outside line.
Yes, we do have a big gap, but we have Travis Murgaard there on the bottom side. We have Jeff Nani back there as well. We have a lot of drivers battling for position right now. And there goes Brandon Barrier to the outside of the 21. Oh, Brandon Barrier gets in the 21 car. We're going to have another caution. Yep, there it is. Another caution, so we will have a green-white checker here tonight. It looks like Brandon Barrier hooked the 21 car into the outside wall.
Let's take a look at that from the far chase and see what we see from the Barrier car. That was interesting. Let's just.
Was that a little bit of netcode?
I don't know. That 21 car. Let's watch that line of that Barrier car. So he gets a good run. He decides he's going to jump up to the outside line. He's still just hugging the drops. It's kind of indecisive. Now he moves up.
The 21 is moving up as well. I mean, really,
the 21
came up into the 58.
Yeah. That I'm not sure if 21 may have not seen him there, but he definitely took him out.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
That is the way it is. So we'll see what this is going to do to the starting lineup. But from what I understand, this is actually going to be a big shakeup because in first you have Dave King. In second, it is showing Luke Bullard, Matt Swope in third, Christopher Howell in fourth. So we'll see if those iRacing Warriors Motorsports drivers can get a little bit of a better restart this next time as we go green, or if those other drivers of Christopher Howell, you have Barletta, you have Bullard there, Feeney, can get a run, and seeing if this could possibly fall in the hands of one of those drivers. But Rick, we are now going into iRacing overtime, NASCAR overtime, where we're going to get a green flag, a white flag, and then a checkered flag. And we have, I believe, unlimited attempts, correct?
That's my understanding. I hope we won't need unlimited attempts. So I think we've got 9 cars still on the lead lap, 10 cars on the lead lap right now, with Tanner Nolan, I think, is in the 10th spot. He may have gotten his lap back. And interestingly enough, this is our 10th caution of the evening.
Yep, that is what I have on my notes here, Rick. That is caution number 10 for the night. So we will see if we get any more, but it looks like we are only going to have, I believe, about 9 cars on this lead lap.
All right. So let's see if we can grab Christopher Howell. See if we can bring him in. He is our points leader. Christopher Howell, welcome to the broadcast booth.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Man, this cautions it's making it very nerve-wracking, that's for sure.
Well, with go ahead.
All I was going to say, Rick, is I was going to say the same thing you were going to say. We've had an abundance of cautions. Everybody seems to get involved in some way, shape, or form. You've gotten involved in some unfortunate situations. What is kind of your strategy here going into what is going to be NASCAR overtime and a green-white checkered? What is you going through your mind knowing that this is probably going to be one of the most hectic restarts of the race.
Well, I just want to get to the white flag, and I'm just going to stay in line and try to keep it clean because I'm racing for points here. Win would be great, but I'm just trying to maintain my points lead. So that's the plan. Just try to keep it clean, get it to the end, save some points.
All right.
Agree.
All right, well, that's your points leader, Christopher Howell. We are about to go back to green flag. The lights are coming off probably soon on top of that pace car, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's your points leader, Christopher Howell. He is currently sitting in 4th right now as we about to go back to green flag racing. Christopher will be on the outside line behind Luke Bullard, and the inside line is dominated by the 18 of David King and Matt Swope in the 82.
Yeah, Matt Swope is there in the 82, and we have Howell there, Barletta, Feeney, Murgaard, Withers, Ledger, and Noland. Now Tanner Noland does get a lap back. He is on the lead lap, so he is now in the mix. And this is going to be another crazy restart, Rick. We will see what happens with all of these drivers here on the track. 10 drivers fighting for that one coveted spot of winning at Talladega. And whoever wins tonight, I mean, they deserve a trophy. They deserve everything because they were able to get through an absolute crazy Talladega race. And just shout out to all these drivers that are still out here tonight because it does take time, does take a lot of effort, especially when you get involved early. So let's see what happens here. 3 laps to go. Green, white, checkered.
This is truly the survival of the fittest here with these last 3 laps.
Here they come into turn 3 and turn 4. If you haven't been watching, this has been a very eventful race so far. We've had cars 3 wide, 4 wide, 1 by 1 single file, and now we are down to overtime here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. This is John and Rick. If you've enjoyed what you've been watching so far, give us a like, give us a shout out or a subscribe so we can grow this community of racing lovers, especially sim racing lovers. But Rick, it looks like pace car is down. Here comes Dave King. He is the king right now in P1, leading this race, but to the inside lane, you have his teammate there, Matt Swope, and Luke Bullard and Howell up on the high side.
They're in the restart zone.
We are back to racing here at Talladega. 3 laps to go. Outside lane did not get a start at all. Basically from 5th and 6th on back, nobody was restarting there, and you have a 6-car line on the bottom with a 3-car line on the top. We'll see what Bullard can do up in that top lane.
It's a tight battle.
Battle going down the backstretch here at Talladega. That outside lane is not able to do anything, but that 82 machine of Matt Swope is pushing the number 18 of Dave King.
He is nose to tail, pushing him out in front.
Yeah, that outside lane is completely dissolved. We are coming to the white flag at Talladega. Oh,
it was contact.
Mayhem.
Still contact.
More. And we have not hit the white flag yet, but here we go. Here comes Mark Feeney to the outside. White flag. Here comes Mark Feeney and Luke Bullard to the high side. They are looking to get a run.
Travis Murgaard has moved up and is behind the 82 of Matt Swope.
We'll see what happens here. There goes Luke Bullard to the inside of the 73, leaving Matt Feeney. Oh, and there goes to the inside. That is Travis Murgaard.
Oh, a block.
Three wide racing now for the lead. Who's going to win it? Travis Murgaard, Dave King, and Matt Swope. Matt Swope in the high side. We are 3 by 3 coming to the start-finish line. Matt Swope got into his teammate. We are wrecking in turn 3 and 4. Major wreck. It's a race to the line, Rick. It's a race to the line. It's between Howell and Murgaard. Howell and Murgaard are side. I think Murgaard's going to win this race, Rick. Travis Murgaard
Christopher
wins
Howell
at Talladega with Christopher Howell in second.
Luke Bullard in third. That
Luke Bullard in P3
was a finish.
Let's go back and take a look at that, Rick. That was a wild ride to the end between Travis Murgaard there and Christopher Howell. Was almost able to get it done, but Travis Murgaard in that very sharp number 6 Castrol Mustang got it done tonight here at Talladega. Let's go back and take a look at that turn 3. You can see that 82 and 18 get together. Teammates, that kicks the 3 into the back of the 18. Here comes 82 back down in front of the 19. That collects the 18 and the 81 and the 73. Basically the entire field right there. There's Paul Valenstein. Does Valenstein split the gap and able to make it through? No.
Nope. He gets
It is
73, runs him over and jams up
Wow.
into the rest of the field. There's carnage everywhere on the track.
What a wild finish to this race. You can see the 19's left rear tire completely toe link is broken.
I think Dave King does come back and finish.
He finishes
fourth?
P4. Yeah, he finishes P4 right behind Harley Barletta, right behind Luke Bullard there. Rick, let's go on back one more time before we talk with our podium finishers tonight. Let's go back and take a look at that replay full speed and see what these drivers were looking at. It's absolute mayhem. Cars basically flipping airborne. Cars all over the track, and there is your P3 finisher tonight, Luke Bullard into number 3, basically racing Dave King back to the line here at Talladega. So what a finish, what a race, Rick. I mean, Luke Bullard, what a run. He came all the way up from 15th to finish in 3rd. Travis Murgaard came all the way from 8th to finish in the top spot. And he is your winner here tonight. So let's see if we can bring in Luke Bullard and talk with him. There's your top 2. There you go, double burnouts. Yeah, I'd do a burnout if I even crossed the line this race. Oh, that's an awesome view.
So I don't know if we've got Luke Bullard to bring in at this point. I'm going to try and reach out to Christopher Howell.
All right, let's see if we can bring our P2 finisher tonight into the booth.
Christopher Howell,
Hey.
congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, what a wild ride on that last lap. What was going through your mind right there? I mean, it was absolute carnage.
It was mayhem.
In 3 and 4. I mean, absolute mayhem coming into the line, and you finished out you almost got to the back bumper of the 6 just through that last turn.
So you remember how I said I was going for points? I seen the opening and I was like, oh man, I could still a win here, but no, I wanted to go with my teammate up top, and he made the move up top, and then all of a sudden they came with a big block up there, and I was like, oh, they're going to stall us out. So I jumped back down low and went with Travis, and actually, you know, I really could have ran Travis a little bit harder, but I wanted to see him win, so I didn't really push it. So,
Well, it was a great finish. We did expect you to, as you had broken it down before, that you were just wanting to finish and just get your points, but P2 has got some points to it. Congratulations.
oh yeah, sure does. And man, it would have been awesome to get the win, just so I could say I beat everybody on cell phone hotspot Wi-Fi.
Hey, well, you know, however you're able to do it, I mean, fantastic race by you. You are still going to be on top of the point standings here in the IWM League in the Cup Series. Going into the second to last race of the season of Charlotte, I don't know if you're good at Charlotte. I've heard good things about you at Charlotte. So right now, you're looking pretty comfortable in the points lead going into race 11 out of 12.
Yeah, come on, John. You know, because me and you were battling at Charlotte at one point.
Yes, I remember very well. I remember very well.
Well, maybe if they'll let you out of the booth next week, maybe you can come race with us.
We'll see. I think I may have mentioned that to Rick. Maybe jumping down in the car, maybe seeing if I could get in front of the number 88 machine.
Yeah, I guess you'll have to ask the boss. So.
Yeah, right. Well, you got me last time, so I can't really remember what happened there at the end of the last one. I think I had came up to second or third, and something happened with a wreck or something. But anyway, yeah, it'd be awesome to have you come out and be fun to battle you again.
We'll see. You may get a good appearance from one of the broadcasters. But fantastic race, Chris. Any shout outs or thanks you want to give before we talk to the winner, Travis Mergard?
Yeah, I want to thank you too for broadcasting the league. I do an awesome job every week. Also to the admins, all the admins, Michael, Elliot, and you two. And I'm sure there's probably someone else I might be missing in there. But my teammates as well, John Ledger and Harley Barletta, and the other side of the, not trying to battle Travis there too hard at the end, because we're picking up Travis next year into the team. So, yep. Oh. And of course my wife and anybody else who's watching. So thank you.
You're welcome, and that's a little inside information, a little inside baseball there. So, all right, Chris, that's Christopher Howell. He took second place tonight in this Talladega 200 with the iRacing Warrior Motorsports League, and we'll see you next week.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All righty, let's see if we can bring in our winner here tonight, and I got a lot of questions for him, how he was able to keep composure. But let's bring up Travis here.
Travis. Go ahead,
John. Yeah, this is John and Rick up in the broadcast booth. What a wild and incredible win.
Oh yeah. My nerves are I'm still shaking from that. That was wild. That was a wild restart there. I don't even know what happened, to be honest. That was crazy.
Well, the good news is you wound up in first place. There was a lot of action happening behind you.
Well, on that initial restart, I know my teammate Brandon was talking to me, just keep the bottom, and then I know once we got the lap around and then we went to one to go, I seen everybody go to the top, and then I seen a lot of stalling, and I just said, oh, I'm done, because I thought I was by myself. But then Chris, thank God for Chris. Chris came down and kind of shoved my butt to the lead there, which was awesome. I can't believe it, because I started, I think, what did I restart there? Eighth on the restart.
You were back there quite a bit, it was just wild to watch that just basically turn 3 and turn 4 just turned to a junkyard, and then lo and behold, there's you and Chris battling for the win up in the front stretch. And so, I mean, I got to give, shout out to you, really every driver tonight for pushing through, battling through. I bet that wasn't what you were expecting, at least. So we didn't even know what to expect. But great race by you tonight there. And I just want to I'm curious. You had basically control of that race out of turn 4. Did you look in your mirror and see cars flying through the air by any chance? Did you know that the entire field wrecked?
No, the last thing that I saw, this is all I was worried about, was who was going to link with me. Once I seen Chris drop down with me in the 4, that's all I needed, and I was just straight. Until I got back out of 4 to see where he was running, because I already knew that line was going to stall, because I've seen everybody checking up. Once I seen that top lines stalling, I just needed somebody to go with me, and then when we came out of 4, I was just following Chris to try to block him. That's all I was doing at that point. But no, I didn't see the big wreck. Did they all wreck?
To say the least, Rick. I think everybody wrecked.
Did they? Yeah, I seen everybody went to the top side. That's why once I seen all that, I was just like, oh my God, I need help. Somebody's got to go with me down to the bottom. It was nuts. Man, it was awesome. I just want to give a shout out to you guys. I'm shaking right now. I can't believe I won that. I was down 2 laps at one point in this race. That's the crazy part. So
that's the beauty of Talladega, the opportunity to come back, get a lap back.
Yeah.
You did great. Well, congratulations. That's your winner tonight, Travis Mergard, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Charlotte.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate everything you guys do to put on this, and Elliot and everybody. So, well, we'll see you next week, and I appreciate it, guys.
You got it.
Absolutely, for sure. So that is your victory. First place driver, P1, your king of Talladega, Travis Mergard. They're winning by 0.08 of a second over Christopher Howell there in P2. Luke Bullard finishes in P3, Dave King in 4th, Matt Swope in 5th, Tanner Noland in 6th, Dan Withers, Harley Barletta, John Ledger, and Mark Feeney round out your top 10. Well, Rick, Talladega did not disappoint, and we got a phenomenal race to the end there. Don't think we could have wished anything else from Talladega. It's what it produced. It produced a lot of big ones and a lot of exciting action.
It absolutely did, and we were excited coming into this race. We knew it was going to give us these kinds of chills and spills. We expect it. It's a fast-paced track, and a simple, slight error can really turn things upside down, which we saw with the two major wrecks that we saw tonight. So it was definitely a wild night.
Yes, it was. So if you haven't already, make sure to give us a like on this video. Give us a subscribe so we can show you guys more of these broadcasts that we're doing across the iRacing universe. This is John and Rick up in the IWM broadcast booth. We showed you the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series this week. Tune in next Wednesday night where we are going to be at NASCAR's home, Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina, bringing you race 11 of 12 here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. Make sure to always tune in on Tuesday nights, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, where we are covering the Speed Demon NSRL Grand National Series as well. So, Rick, I got to say good night to you. This has been a fantastic race. And I may show up on the track next week, so who knows what's going to happen. But this is John and Rick up here in the booth. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday and a wonderful week.
All right, good night all.